All right, guys, got this thing figured out. You'll see what I did with the spiffs and everything, so we'll go from there. Anyways, here's our overhead, and this comes straight out of our profit pricer. So go to your profit pricer MP12 tab, and that's where the total overhead cost line will be for overhead. And the same thing is true, and I set this up already from your profit pricer. I go to your MP12 tab again to find out the it says overhead costs there. It should say labor costs. I just got lazy and copied and pasted the same damn thing. So I'll change that. This one here is 10% commissions. Yeah, I can't seem to grab that for some reason. And then we've got the net profit desired, and then the 2% sliding scale based off of profitability. Okay, we start at 25, 17.5, 10, and 0. Okay, so there are 4 scales there. Then this is our pricing per day. That's our pricing per hour. That's just 8 hours times this. It gets you this. 8 hours times 114 gets you this. Okay, and I'm gonna put this YouTube link right about here above the tutorial link. Okay, you should probably see it by now. Okay, then here is how we build the selling price. 8 hours, 10% commission, 25%. That's pretty much a constant. So everything is a day. If you have jobs that are less than a day, it doesn't matter. Put it in as a day for HVAC installs. I'll say this. By trying to do 2 half system jobs in a day, it causes a lot of callbacks. I would rather the install crew took their time. Is it going to be more for the customer? Yes, it is. Okay, because it'll be a price issue. Now, I would coach you as a salesperson to use 8 hours on this. And then if you needed to lower the price, talk to your manager about that to try to get the job. Because obviously if the job can be done and it's just a furnace and it can be done in 6 hours, we could put 6 hours there. Okay, but as a salesperson, you don't have the authority to do that. Your manager does. Okay, so, and that's where you come into these. This is where maximum capacity, the call comes in. When you're out there with the customer, you have to call your manager to get a price change, because the salesman cannot change the price ever. It has to be authorized by the manager. Okay, then we got the material over here, 36. I found out what we're going to do with the technician spiff. I'm just going to put it in here as a cost, because that's really what it is, a cost. And I'm not going to raise our price to 38.5%. It's going to be 35 for commissions and 25 for, it'll be 10% commissions and 25% nets. So that adds up to 35. I'm not going to move that pricing to 38.5 to cover the $300. It's a cost, okay? And we're just going to put that cost in there, and it's a flat cost, and that's what it's going to be. All right. So here are some things when you're building the price. Got some miscellaneous stuff. You got the material and equipment. And if it's a tech lead, put the $300 in here for the tech lead, because we got to build that into the price. Okay, when we're selling it. So and the salesperson should know if it's a tech lead or not a tech lead before he goes out. So it'd be very easy for him to just plug it in here. All right, right now. So when we get to this page, we've got 8 hours for a job, 10% commission, 25% nets. Okay. Here's the cost of the job. The equipment's material and the taxes are $3,600, and the technician spiff is $300. And any other cost you are going to have to build this job to find out what that selling price is. Because if you got a permit and it's a $100 permit, you put it in there and it changes the price to $301.54. Okay, so this is the perfect way to build these costs, because we need to know what the cost is. Every job is a little bit different, and the salesman needs to understand. He should already understand the material and the equipment going into a job. Is he going to need equipment rental? Is there equipment rental? Is it a rooftop type of thing? You need to know what that is. Anything miscellaneous that's kind of out of the ordinary, just kind of threw it in there. You got any subcontractors? Why do I put subcontractors in there? I know people think Kansas is flat, but we have some hilly sides on the side hills, and they almost have to pour a concrete pad. You just can't put down one of those concrete blocks that they give you. You got to level that out, and sometimes you got to just get a contractor to do that for you. I'm sure you got the same stuff there. You guys are hillier than we are. Warranty cost on the equipment. Did they buy the extended warranty? We need to know what that is. What's the technician spiff lead going to be? $300. Service contract. You're going to add a service contract to it. What's the cost of that? Does the customer have a service credit with it? In other words, did we go out there and repair something for the customer? And they said, you know what, the thing's bad. The thing's not still working. We go back and sell her a new piece of equipment. So we give her a credit back on that repair that we did. Okay. What is the permit cost? If there's any permits in that, what is the financing cost? Financing companies sometimes charge us a fee to use their financing. We need to know what that is to plug that in. Okay. And credit card charges, I used a rule of thumb of 1.5 on credit card charges for the whole job. I just had to put that in. I looked at this number up here. It said 11,000 and 1.5 of that is okay. $180. So I put in $180 here. I'm not trying to make this thing difficult for our salespeople out there, but if they can get us close to covering the financing charge, that'd be cool. Are we including the next season trip charge? Our trip out to, sometimes we put these things in the winter and we haven't started up the condenser really. Okay. So if you're going to include that cost to go out there to do that. Okay. Whatever it is, maybe it's just a service agreement. They'd be better off just get a service agreement and put them up here to the service agreement instead of doing this. The service agreement is going to be a hell of a lot cheaper. It's $99, right? We'll go back out and do that. So anyways, that is the job costing piece, the pricing piece, I'm sorry. That's the job pricing tab. And then you're going to come over here to the job costing tab, and you're going to put in the selling price. You'll notice that the selling price of $11,147.69 is exactly what that is. Okay, so you put that in, and you'll put this in at 8 hours, because that's what you bid it at. And this is going to be, that's all you would do on this job. And then print both of these pages off. Okay. As a salesman, print both of these pages off, because the person who's going to do the job costing, we need to understand, you know what, there needs to be a customer name up here as well. So I'm going to put a customer's name up here so we can have this on file as a customer's name, and you can save it to that customer's name. I had one and I don't know what happened to it. Interesting. Oh, here it is. Okay, I got it. You put the customer's name down here. Okay, yeah, and then you put the salesperson's name down here. So you'll file this by the customer's name. So I won't be putting anything up there. I've already got it down here. All right, very good. And then once you're doing the job costing piece, just go through here, take the job folder. Every install should have a job folder, okay? It's very important that we put that in the job folder. And when that job comes up, when it's done, you're going to have, sometimes you'll have receivers, you'll have all kinds of stuff. And I understand that, yeah, we could do that on the tablet. Put it in a job folder, okay? Because you'll have this job folder in your file, and you have to job cost these. And then when you do, you're just done with it. Instead of, I wonder how many I have in the tablet. Don't do that. Sometimes old school's better, all right? So please take that process. That's what I'm coaching. That's what I'm going to expect everybody to do, all right? And then put in the lead technician lead on this so we can give him his credit. And then Charlie, what is his expected? Fill this in, Charlie in after the job, because if something comes up here, like the example I just created, I guess. No, I didn't. I did create an example for that. Why? What happened? Anyway, at this job right here, Charlie should get, the salesperson should get an 1114.77. Okay. But let's just say something went wrong and a subcontractor had to come in for $500 to do the pad. Okay. Okay. So now he's going to get $891.82 because he didn't bid this pad to work right. Subcontractor come in to put the pad in. So that commission dropped to a 70, to a, it's a 20.5% job, but it's on a sliding scale at 10%. He's lost $500 of that commission, which brought it down to 614.77, where the 8% commission pays higher. So that's what I'm paying him. So he's getting 8% on 17.5% or on 20.5% basically. But this is the sliding scale. So we do have, starts here, we got a 2%, because we got a 2% sliding scale here. I'm going to take that out for the subcontractor. Okay, so this represents 10%, this represents 8% at 17.5. At 10%, you get 6. At 5%, you get 4. And at 0%, the salesman still gets 2%. So if he totally wets the bed and brings in 0 profit, remember we have 10% built in as a sales price. He's going to get 2 of it. The company will get 8. So the least that we should ever make on these jobs would be 8%. Okay? Because that 10% is built in the commissions, but we're only paying out 2 if the job comes down to there. Let's just make that job come down to there for a second. That would have to be a pretty steep deal. So I'll just put in a $2,700 cost for service credit. Okay, so that brings him down here. We made 0.8%. So he still made that commission. All right. So just understand that's how that works. But we still had 10% built into this job. Okay. And that's based up here on the commission. So we still made $1,114.77 plus the 86. So we made something. We actually made 8% up here from this. Let me just pull that back out. Yeah. So we made this a sales commission. And now the profit that the company had was like $80, whatever it was, right? So they got 2% of it. So we subtract whatever they're getting, the 220 something out of this plus this, and then the company gets the remainder. Okay. So we're getting on that example before gave us an 8.8% net profit, basically, because that sales commission ended up dropping down to be, instead of a 10% commission paid out, it was only a 2% commission paid out. And that's how we hedge ourselves here for salespeople that are, it's okay to do a break-even job. That's why I say it's okay to do a break-even job. We can still make money on a break-even job. I just don't want them all to be that. And I don't want to give the incentive to a salesperson to drop his drawers, okay, for whatever reason. Let's just say $2,700. He drops $2,700 off of this job. Well, he ended up with $222. The company ended up with $14.86, which is $1,200 minus $222. So we made about $900 on the deal. Okay, so it's 8%. It's actually, because he had 2% of this, it's 8 now plus that. So it's an 8.8 profitability for the company. Anyways, I probably told you more than you wanted to know, but I wanted you to understand everything behind this of why we have a sliding scale on profitability and how we can hedge ourselves sometimes and look at taking a job at break even. It's not a terrible thing. If you find a guy that's constantly doing break even, first of all, a salesman can't do break even, use a break even number without asking the manager. He cannot sell that for a zero profit, for a zero profit. Okay. We won't allow him to do it. So he has to use these numbers when he's doing it. He has to call his manager if there's an issue, if he can drop the price for the customer. Okay. So this should always be filled out with a 25 and a 10 and an 8. Okay. Matter of fact, I might just freeze frame those so nobody can change them. I'm not going to do that because sometimes they want the leeway, and I get it. But anyways, just want to throw that out there to you guys. Let's have some discussion. You guys discuss this as a group, and then let's have a conversation about it with your questions. Okay. Thank you very much.